doing?
Yeah.
But we're gonna do this little chat today because we're gonna talk about corruption
Oh,
in this police district.
there you go. What's up, Jen? What's up, Tien? What's up, Harry? What's up, Minneapple? Ellie, of course. The venerable Ellie. Tien, Accountability, Ms. B, Canada. Yeah, the dream team, they're calling us, Regan.
Are we the dream team?
You and I are the dream team. How
I
do you feel about
literally
that?
cannot see this
Here,
stream.
let me.
Is it there?
It looks like it's there. Let me.
Let me get this in the.
In the
I'm
hole.
supposed to do that before, right?
Yeah, it's all good here.
How do I get it in there?
Here, you hold mine. Here, you take care of my live stream. I'll take care of yours.
Look at this handy dandy thing that MLH got me, and I lose it, and then I find it, and then I don't take the time to use it right, so I don't know how to use it. But it's super handy.
Yeah, let's turn this. There we go. And then do this.
Ta-da!
There we go. But it is. It's really nice. I have one. It's a little different, but
Oh no, but you got
yours
me
is
this.
cuter.
Hey, it's very, very handy.
Yes, it is, and it does have Bluetooth functionality too, which is
right
kind of
on.
cool, like for selfies and shit like that.
Looks like they're leaving, so that's
Oh, they
good.
saw the cameras. Of course.
That's good, because we need to be able to do this without some stupid interruption.
Yeah.
So here, we're gonna have this phone in case we get some texts.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. And then we're gonna discuss what went down out here on February 1st when everybody was watching the live stream.
You know what? Let me get my better mic. I have a better
Okay. All right. MLH is
I was
gonna
gonna go into your car.
MLH is gonna get a better microphone, but in the meantime, here's a look of the area. So I know I've got a mod in here, the best mod on the planet, who's gonna control the conversation and the question asking. We're gonna talk about how dirty these District 4 cops were on the night of February 1st. Okay? So Ellie, over there off in the distance, and now I can see this, that busy street is Santa Fe. Just beyond that guardrail is the Platte River. Right here is Fox Street. The street my husband and I came down on February 1st, the night of February 1st, and we parked right there. So you can kind of get a
Chad, what's up?
you can kind of get a feel.
Who did I miss?
As you can see,
420, welcome to heaven.
we have a new sign over there, and I'm going to walk up to it in a second. No overnight parking.
Okay, can you all hear me?
11 to 5, except we have no ordinance on that.
Thank you guys.
There's no other signage until you get further down the block down there. And at the end of the street, that side street down there is Huron. Just a little bit catty corner to that is some residential homes and a trailer park back there. All of this along the south side of the street is all businesses. Okay, so the north side of the street is where everything took place that night, over here. This is the north side of the street.
Taz, what's up? Yeah, so the north side is where all the BS with Regan
So
happened.
we're gonna walk through this arrest warrant affidavit that I collected from the court. But let's walk down here and see what this signage says, because the night of February 1st, there was different signage out here, and I don't see that it's here any longer.
Just basically being out here. And they said obstruction, I believe is what it was, or
Interference.
Interference, yeah.
They're trying to get me to sit in jail on an interference charge.
Right. So it's obviously BS. If you guys want to refer back to
And here's all the documents.
refer
that we got from the courts, that I got from the courts on my own case.
Snowy night. I don't exactly know which date. Maybe somebody can put that link in there. But stemming from that,
February 1st, it was
February
called
1st.
Denver Harassing the Homeless in a Snowstorm. So here's this new signage.
This is new signage right here.
Yeah, this wasn't here the night all that went down. There was different signage here from a different ordinance they were using, Ellie, right? 39-4.
Yeah. But see, even if they use 39.4, they should have went through the procedures in 39.2. Have you checked that out, Regan?
Yeah, I have checked it out. So there goes the park ranger.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
park ranger right
Same new sign. No overnight parking, 11 to 5, with no ordinance on it.
there. Yeah. So these signs are still BS, right, Regan? Or are they?
Well, the thing with these signs is, I dug into this a while back with the city engineer by the name of Scott Burton.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to find out how signage gets placed throughout the city.
Yeah.
This isn't even this isn't even the typical material that they use to make this signage. So this tells me that it's just put up here by probably the businesses, because Scott Burton really couldn't define a process of how the city places signage. He cited that they do it based on philosophy.
Philosophy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
So
should I
yeah.
start reading Plato and
Yeah.
other great philosophers of our
Yeah,
time?
this guy's a city engineer. His name is Scott Burton. So
I know somebody that works in the government as far as like engineering and stuff goes. So I might bend an ear or two.
So there's 2 more signs down there that say the same, Ellie. So right there at the corner, that stop sign is Huron in Tennessee. Street sweeping signs. These have been a long posted sign in Denver. There's not an ordinance on this either. It just says it's a tow-away zone. Typically, right-of-way enforcement enforces all this street signage. Okay, it's very rare that the police use signage to enforce municipal code, except in cases of harassing the homeless. So,
Hang tight, y'all.
let's move into these documents. I'm going to hold you one. I'm
Okay.
going to hand
Hold
you
me
one.
one?
I'm going to hand you one because I want to hang on to the one that says order in only. So you hang on to that.
Okay.
And we're going to start by reading the statements that Officer Mansauer and Officer Moen wrote on February 3rd, supposedly. Okay, so it would have been 2 days after this occurred. Okay, how they were prompted to go write statements, I suspect, was some sergeant that they cried to told them to write statements, because guess what, guys? They're the only 2 cops that wrote statements from that night. Do you remember how many cops were here, including 2 sergeants? Those sergeants came. They tried to give me their card. I said, fuck you, I don't want your card. You know what the fuck you're talking about? And they left.
Right.
So if I was interfering so badly, how come they didn't arrest me that night? That's because I wasn't interfering. And they wanted to go back and create a case based on lies. And that's exactly what they did. And we have a one Sergeant Joe, we'll call him Joey
Sardine.
Sartain,
Sorry.
Sartain, badge number 05057, that signed a sworn affidavit that everything he was entering for this arrest warrant was the truth. Not only did he sign that, his sergeant, Detective Chastain, he notarized it and gave approval for the report. So the detective's sergeant signed off on the detective's arrest warrant affidavit telling the truth, and then he notarized it. You can't even make this shit up. The documents are all right here. Right here, okay? You can't even make this shit up. So
well, let me ask you a question about that notary public. I'm a little familiar with that. You're not supposed to be able to notarize your own documents, right?
You're not supposed to be an interested party.
I'm not 100% sure.
I pretty much am, because someone very close to me holds a notary license.
Right.
And you cannot notarize a document that you have interest in.
Right. So that should be immediate grounds for removal of his notary public.
Well, and criminal charges for official misconduct.
Yep.
There are a lot of cops in this scenario that committed official misconduct. And Detective Sergeant Randall Chastain, his badge number is in here somewhere.
05057.
No, that's Sartain.
Well, you said Sartain.
No, Randall Chastain.
Chastain, okay.
Chastain. Randall Chastain. He's a detective sergeant with District 4. His badge number starts with 86. You'll find it in there at some point.
Hold on, I'll look for it.
But yeah, these idiots swore under oath and notarized their own investigation for an arrest warrant. I shit you not. Okay, so let's back up to Officer Mansour. Badge number 17071, page 1 of 7. Right here. On 2/1 at 23:06 hours, I, Officer Mansour, badge 17071, was working car 452B with Officer Moen, badge number 18014, in uniform and in a marked police car. We were tasked to go to West Tennessee Avenue between South Platte River Drive and South Huron Street to enforce the no overnight parking signs that were placed there. Okay, well, let's start with that first paragraph.
Yes, tasked.
Number
right?
1, tasked. Number 2, no overnight parking signs. Where did they go? Because these aren't the signs that were here that night. Why are they all gone? Interesting. The other point, that he was tasked. Okay, who sent you out here? Mansour and Moen. Officer Moen, remember him? He was the one chewing and spitting in the video. Upon arrival, I observed the suspect, Regan Benson, get out of a white Toyota Tacoma. Benson walked within several feet of us and began harassing us. Let's talk about what harassing us means. Here's the other piece of what Officer Mansour and Officer Moen forgot to write. They were out here at 10 o'clock on their vehicle PA system, essentially a bullhorn, driving up and down the street here, giving orders to everybody here that they were to leave now or they were going to be cited. Yes, harassing us. Right? So, Mansour and Moen, you forgot to include that you were already here once and that you returned at 23:06 hours, you fucking liars.
What's up, Farland?
Benson was not only several feet from us, but she was screaming very loudly, calling Officer Moen and I derogatory names. Due to Benson doing this, she was obstructing us from doing our job. I swear, a 5th grader writes better than this. I told Benson multiple times that she could record us, but had asked her to stop interfering. I had asked her to stop interfering. You fucking liar. You invited me into the picture taking. You invited me to continue to record you. And not one time during that entire night did you fucking ever use the word interfere, stand back, or get away from me. In fact, you told me that I could do whatever I wanted as long as I wasn't in your face. You fucking liar.
She's in rare form today.
While making contact with the individuals in violation of the parking signs, Benson was yelling at the individuals, telling them not to cooperate with us. Other officers had to respond to assist us by keeping an eye on Benson so that we can attempt to continue our task. The guy writes in third-party form, and then he writes as if he's telling his own story. The fucking moron doesn't even know how to write, okay? So they had to call for other officers to keep an eye on me? How come those other officers also didn't tell me that I was interfering? Or why didn't all those officers put up the infamous crime scene tape that night? Huh? While I was taking photos of the vehicles in violation, Benson began flipping my camera off. Yes, that's probably the only true statement that he wrote. At one point, while I was trying to take a picture of a license plate, Benson obstructed the plate with her middle finger, and I had to ask her to not obstruct my job. You fucking liar. Did anybody really watch a video? We were out there for approximately 1 hour, and Benson was yelling the entire time. I also had to ask Benson to keep her voice down, as to not disturb everyone in the area. Really, Luigi? Because you were out here in your fucking Mario Kart on your PA system, fucking disturbing everybody's peace out here, including the neighbors over there, when you told them they had an hour to get out of here. You fucking liar. You never once told me to keep my voice down. Ever. Not one time. Benson attacked my character multiple times, and at no point was I rude to her, nor did I ever tell her she couldn't record me. Benson attacked my character multiple times.
Oh, okay. Hold on. On that point, wasn't at some point, Regan, let me, I think, so when a
Here,
mutual...
let me get in front here,
Yeah.
so you can see me.
A mutual friend of ours, okay, I don't want to say who,
There's some
pointed
geese.
out something very, very specific about talking about attacking character.
Uh-huh.
Somebody, I maybe it was Mansoor, I'm not 100% sure, called you a dealer.
He did. He did, in fact, in his car while he was talking to another activist. And I'm not sure that she heard it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We all heard it. I was filming him, and she was saying something to the effect about, yeah, we just need some more time. And Officer Mansour looked right at her, pointed at me, and said, yeah, I'm not talking to the dealer there. Mm-hmm.
I know, I heard something
Now,
like
what
that.
what term would dealer apply to? What kind of dealer am I? Are we talking Jack Black? Are we
Yeah,
talking
right.
drugs?
Right.
What kind of dealer?
Right.
Mansour?
Right.
You fucking moron. Okay, let's take a break here and check and see if we have any texts that we need to respond to. Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, so back to the narrative here. Look at me trying to hold all this.
Here, give me a...
Whoa! You hold this.
I'll hold this.
Put that right there, and then we can pull it out
Yeah,
on and off there and take a look at
there
it.
you go.
Okay, so Benson attacked my character multiple times. Well, if your character involves having a shriveled dick, I make no apologies. You have a horrible character. How about your moral character? Let's talk about that. I mean, if you're really all bent out of shape because I insulted you for having a shriveled dick, I'm not sorry, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Well, somebody brought up, could it be car dealer?
Car dealer.
Maybe you're a car dealer.
Right. No, I'm not a dealer in any shape or form.
What's truth? You're a truth dealer.
Yeah. Due to her aggressive behavior and her obstructing us from doing our job, at no point did I ever obstruct them from doing their fucking job. Not one time. We did not want to stay out there and issue the citations. What did I do? Rip their citation book from them? Did I take their pen? Did I kick them in the balls? How were they not able to issue the citations that they were so sure
Maybe they broke their fingers while they were out here.
jerking off?
Yeah, maybe.
We ended up trying to make contact with everybody, quickly advising them of the violation while taking pictures of the vehicles on the north side of the street.
Somebody gave you a super chat apparently.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm
Oh.
sorry, I'm not paying much attention
Pepper,
to my
what's up?
chat. I need to.
Jesse, what's up?
So we're just out here talking about the bullshit
McDonald,
and the
what's up?
corruption of District
I think I
4
said hey, Marla. Good
on the
day.
night of February 1st. And I honestly cannot see
ETL, what's up?
one single thing in my chat.
Jen Wow, what's up?
Yes, somebody put a $100 super chat in there. You guys freaking rock.
I wished I would get a $100 super
Thank you
chat.
very, very much.
Feel free to give me a $100 super chat. That would be great. I don't know who did that, but thank you very much for doing that for Regan. It's awesome. She's fighting a bullshit charge right now. Now, real quickly before we get back into story time, Regan.
Right?
Now, do we have to go and get your citation or whatever this is now? Is it a actual warrant? Like, what is it now?
Okay, so it's in a status that a judge signed off on it I have to show up or be ordered in. It's an order in only order from the judge for, I don't know, who's going to give it to me. I've tried to call District 4. They don't answer their fucking phone. I don't know. I'm supposed to get the summons and citation that they could have given me at any time. But instead, let's back up into the story about the actual arrest warrant that they issued with a false address. Typically, they would attempt to serve me or attempt to arrest me if they had a correct address. They deliberately put in false information. I'm talking, this is beyond like official misconduct shit. This is deliberate. The address that they put in on the warrant doesn't even exist anywhere in the state of Colorado. They had a house number correct that I used to live at a long time ago, but nothing else was correct on it, not one thing. And what makes this even dumber, they have my social security number, they have my date of birth, and they have my telephone number, and it's all correct. It's all correct information.
Except for the address.
Do you know how easy you can access someone's address? Look, I don't deliberately try to hide. My address is current on my fucking driver's license. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
It's current within the DMV system. My address is current within the voter registration system. It's very, very easily accessible information to get my current address. So, yeah, that's what they did with the warrant. And you can see that document under my community section on my YouTube channel. I posted that document. So, back to Officer Mansour's statement. Benson asked for a supervisor to respond. Yes, in fact, I did. That's a second truth. I contacted Sergeant Blanchard, who responded to the scene.
McDonald, I believe the answer is no to your question.
What's the question?
What's the date? Is the year, month, and day accurate
For the charge?
for the charge?
No. Initially, they entered it for 210. So when the new order was issued for the order in, the correct date was used, 2-1. So they didn't even have the right date when they entered the warrant. They didn't even have the right violation date when they entered. And these are detectives. These are detectives, you guys. Aren't you supposed to investigate that shit? Yeah.
That's very basic, right? I mean, that's like the first.
So that was the end. That's the end of Officer Mansour's statement. Okay. Now on to Officer Thomas Moen, the dipshit that was with him. Okay, let's start over here. On 2/1 at 2300 hours, excuse me,
Karthik, what's up?
while working a partner car, 452B, with Officer Mansour, I, Officer Moen, badge number 18014, responded to the 500 block west of Tennessee to investigate possible parking violations on multiple vehicles. This occurred in the city and county of Denver. Now, so those two were together. One of them said they were tasked to come out here, And the other one says that they responded to investigate possible parking violations. Which is it, dumbasses? Did you two not get together and verify your statements? I guess not, because both of you are telling different stories and you were in the same car. You idiots. Upon arrival, Officer Mansauer and myself began to go down the line of vehicle and campers that were parked along the N-S of the road, north side of the road on West Tennessee. The street was marked with multiple signs that clearly said there was no parking on that side of the road. Really? That's not what any of those signs that were actually here that night said. Wow. Officer Mansauer and I began to start our investigation on the first vehicle that we saw, and that is when the suspect, who is identified as Regan Benson, began to get very close to Officer Mansauer and myself. Her husband was also there. No clue how he knew that was my husband, because I never identified him as that. He never identified himself as that. And they were yelling profane language at us. Regan Benson got extremely close to Officer Mansauer and I multiple times while we were trying to contact the owners of the vehicles. I personally heard Officer Mansauer tell Regan Benson to back away from him multiple times. You did? You fucking liar.
You couldn't make this shit up.
I know.
It's just so bad.
Anybody can go watch the video. It's still up. I'm not taking it down. It was a constant stream. It's all right there on video. We explained to her that we needed her to back up and that we didn't mind that she was filming. No, you didn't, you fucking liar. Eventually, it felt like we could not do our duties. It felt like we could not do our duties without more officers on scene. And that is when I called for multiple other officers to come to the 500 block West Tennessee to cover us.
To cover us like they're in a shootout or something. Oh my
to
God.
Cover us.
To cover us.
In the middle of a snowstorm. I observed Regan Benson directly obstruct a license plate with her middle finger while Officer Mansauer was taking pictures and documenting the parking violation. Now, if you'll recall, fellas, you invited me in to take pictures with you. Officer Mansauer explained to Regan that she needed to not block his view of the license plate and that he did not mind that she was recording, but that she needed to back away while we conducted our investigation. You're a liar. Regan also told several occupants of the vehicles not to give us their name and date of birth. That too is a fucking lie.
And he misspelled there, by the way.
Yeah, there. T-H-E-R-E instead of T-H-I-R.
I-R-I-E-R, yep.
I never said that. It never fucking happened. We gave Regan multiple warnings to back away from us and to not film us while we were on out MTDs. Should have said on our mobile data terminals in our vehicles.
Which, by the way, if you're out in public, any computer is fair game. I've
That's
done
right.
it. You guys have seen several times on my stream. I've gotten their computers and information off of their computers, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with filming that if they're in public.
Yep.
So feel free to go down that avenue, officer.
But it didn't happen. I
No,
walked
it
up
didn't.
to the vehicle. I filmed it. He said something about, you can't do that. And that was Sandoval that said that. Little short Sandoval that said that. Not this fucking idiot. Okay? And honestly, I didn't really even give a shit, and I walked away because they were trying to come down the line.
Alan B, what's up?
And I was filming them. It was a non-issue. It never happened anyway. Officer Mansauer and I eventually just documented the street with photos and left the area.
Well, that part is true. They eventually left.
They did eventually leave because they didn't have shit. They knew they were in the wrong, okay? And then he goes on to say, on February 3rd,
Affiant?
what I'm reading here, I want to back up on this because I just caught this. At the very top of this page, it says, Officer Thomas Moen reported to your affiant the following statement. So this is Sartain saying that this is what Moen reported to him. Okay? Whether he did that in writing, on body cam, I don't know. But this is not a statement from Mansauer, from Moen. Okay? So, I don't know who wrote this shit.
Let's get some shade, Regan.
Okay, well, let's just step over here. You want to? So, yeah, the sun is hot this Sunday afternoon.
Starting to burn. I'm in the sun.
Our sun gets hot on a Sunday.
All right.
So Officer Mansauer and I eventually just documented the street with photos and left the area. On February 3rd, your affiant, meaning Sartain, generated the go for this case, which is Denver's case management system. Your affiant completed the narrative and attached it to the go. So, there are a shit more ton of bullshit things in here from your affiant being Detective Sartain being signed off by Sergeant Randall Chastain. And he goes on to say that he watched all of the body cam footage. I don't know what fucking camera he was watching because this guy created his own narrative. I mean, this just goes on and on. And he also claims that he watched my YouTube live stream. I don't know what narrative he created from my YouTube live stream, but none of that shit happened that he said happened. I mean, we could stand here and read for hours, but it doesn't matter.
Let's go back over there because something's going on. Like, I don't know if this guy hit my car or what.
Yeah, let's go check this out.
Let's go over here. So we'll continue with story time, guys. Bear with us. This has been an interesting live stream. We're going to keep live streaming for a little bit here, talking about this ridiculous, I don't know if it's a warrant or a citation or some kind of nonsense that they're trying to pull here, but we'll get to the bottom of this eventually. But I'm wondering, would you be arrested, Regan, if you actually went into District 4?
Yeah, I guess. I still think there's potential to be arrested. The two cases still exist, but
Look, now he's leaving. So probably just got the license plates, I'm guessing.
Yeah, what are these people doing over here? They've been spending a lot of time over here. Huh, now they're leaving in a hurry. Well, now they're talking. I don't know. Anyway, we'll walk back down to the car. Ellie, what did I miss? I mean, what are the things that just are off the charts insane here? I think it's important to document this, I mean, blatant harassment of the homeless and anyone that dare really speak out. Sorry, I know the camera is very unsteady. I'm just reading comments. So as you can see, nobody's left over here. Ultimately, what ended up happening over here was, yeah, I was asked to step back from the cop car. when I was standing next to it recording and they had their computer up. I was asked, not ordered to. And I really honestly didn't even give a shit. And so I just moved along. Yep, good point.
What's up, Car Thief? If you haven't checked out Regan Benson's channel, make sure you check it out. She's the GOAT.
Okay.
I've said that several times, but let's continue.
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit more of this because I want to read the summary of what this jackass Sartain actually did and the dates. Okay, so this is okay if this is out here. Okay, so in the middle of this page, your affiant reviewed 3831, interference with police authority. The following passages apply. It shall be unlawful for any person in any way to interfere with or hinder any police officer, any member of the police department, or any person duly empowered with police authority while such officer, member, or person duly empowered with police authority is discharging or apparently discharging their duties. Okay, so that on the surface, I could be standing here right now and say, you fucking stupid Denver District 4 cops, you leave the homeless alone. That constitutes interference. Okay, if you read this on the surface in any way, I could say that. I could be anywhere in the world and say, you stupid Denver cops, you better not do that. They can interpret that as hindering a police officer's duties. So what this tells us is that this stupid municipal code that they're using is unconstitutional on the face. Okay, so would I take this to trial in Denver?
Hang tight 1 second.
I absolutely would. Would I get an informed jury? It's possible. Would I get a jury that gets instructed by the judge or by the judge to ignore certain jury instructions? Yep. It's a gamble. It's like going to Central City. No shit. But will I take this to a jury? Fuck yes, I will. I absolutely will. So that's enough about the statute. So then he goes on to say, your affiant, which again would be stupid ass Joey Sartain, located the body-worn camera video of Regan Benson from case number 21-49912. This is incredibly important. That case is from the individual that assaulted me. Sartain did the video lineup, did the picture lineup, and he was in the room with body cam recording me as I identified the individual back in August who assaulted me. He was the fucker sitting in that room with a body cam running, asking me to identify the man that assaulted me. And I did that, and I identified myself, of course. He went back to that fucking body cam footage and pulled that as proof that he was identifying me. And if you'll recall, that night, I told those cops that that guy was out here.
And they did nothing.
They did absolutely fucking nothing.
Right.
And this Sartain guy, he was the one that did the photo lineup with me. And the detective on the case was a different detective, and he's the one that filed the case. But Sartain did the photo lineup. And that fucker knew that that went on out here that night. And he still wrote this up.
He couldn't be more dumber. I mean, it just gets...
Dumb? How about just fucking evil? That guy assaulted me. That guy beat the shit out of me.
I know.
And these fuckers want to fuck with me over interference when the guy was right in front of their fucking face and they did nothing? Tell me that they're not targeting me. Please, somebody convince me that they're not targeting me.
Right.
So then he claims that he went to do that. Oh, shit. I don't want, because some of this stuff has got my date of birth in it. Oh, well. So on February 14th, your affiant spoke with intake deputy district attorneys and was directed to submit this case. Okay? They asked the district attorney's office for the city and county of Denver to take this case. On February 16th, your affiant received notification that the Denver District Attorney's Office had refused charges in this case, but recommended city charges. Really? I don't believe that for 1 second. And if you'll remember what was going on February 16th, we were in the lobby of District 4. We were recording in the lobby of District 4, asking for the signs to be taken down, and we had asked them to contact the city attorney. Interesting, huh? So on February 16th, your affiant received notification that the Denver DA's office had refused charges in this case, but recommends city charges? Your affiant was notified by the city attorney's office, Marley Bordowski. Let's talk about Marley for a second.
Okay.
First of all, Marley is not in Denver's office for criminal prosecution. She is in the city attorney's office. She works on civil cases. She's also the woman out here during all the homeless sweeps.
Is it that blonde lady that comes out?
It's the tall, skinny blonde lady that comes out to the sweeps. It's her that initiated the warrant for me over in the cul-de-sac. She's the city attorney, not a city prosecutor. So we'll remember Marley. Now, maybe the cops are lying here. I don't know. So did they call the city attorney's office and tell Marley that we were in the lobby recording, and Marley said, do whatever you have to do? I don't know, but won't that be wonderful when we get to put Marley, the city attorney, up on the stand? Won't that be something? Now, Marley, come on, let's get serious here. Let's get really serious. You know that these cops are dumber than hammered shit. You know that the majority of them cannot find their way out of a goddamn cardboard box. You know that they're incapable of writing warrants. So you yourself oversee the process because the Denver police are too stupid to do it. Now, is it possible that they threw you under the bus? I'd love to give you the benefit of the doubt on that. But in the meantime, consider yourself served because you're going to be put up on the stand. Okay, so back to that. I think that's just a really important note to make because Marley is out at the sweeps. Okay, so then furthermore, we're almost done. We're down here at the bottom. Furthermore, your affiant presented this case to his supervisor. Here's Detective Sergeant Randall Chastain, badge number 86062. Detective Sergeant Chastain approved the charges of 38-1, 38-31, interference. Therefore, your affiant requests an arrest warrant be issued for Regan Benson for the charges of interference. So that all took place on February 16th, supposedly, okay? Which was Wednesday, the day we were in the lobby recording District 4. And by Friday, only on Friday, did they issue the warrant at 11:52 over a long holiday weekend. Remember, Monday was President's Day. So their goal was really to be able to arrest me, thinking that they were going to capture me out here on the street or possibly in their lobby, right? So they issue a warrant for me on Friday. And lo and behold, we find out about this by Friday afternoon. I called over to District 4 and I said, really? I'm assuming you guys have a summons and citation to serve me. I'll be over there to get it. Oh, no, you can't come over here. I talked to the detective and he said that since the arrest warrant has been issued, you have to turn yourself in and we'll process you in the jail. Yeah, I have that recorded phone call as well. So now here we are with the final order. It's an order in only, signed on February 18th by Judge Farragher in Denver. Okay, here's Joe Sartain's signature, and here's Randall Chastain, the notary, the detective sergeant. I shouldn't be shocked, but I want the whole world to understand what they're doing, because this affects every single person living homeless. This affects every single activist. This affects why people do not trust the police. This affects the fact that it is the police issuing the war on the people. It's not the other way around where there's this war on the police. It's this kind of fucking horse shit that makes the people go, you know what? We've had enough. So I think the more this gets exposed, the better. And that's where I'm at. And that's pretty much the summary that I wanted to talk about and document with the signs out here. So let's go to the chat and see what I missed or see what questions pop up. I'm going to take a look here.
You betcha.
Oops.
Oh, did you see all my list of cards that I'm gathering here, Regan? All right, let me read my chat as well. Let's see.
Here's an important.
McDonald, I'm reading.
Here's an important note. Please explain to us why 6 officers were on scene, but only 2 officers made a statement.
Right. 6
officers out here. Sandoval, his sergeants, some other guy, and then Mullen and Mansour. How come none of them made statement? However, further down in this arrest warrant affidavit, Sartain refers to Sandoval. That's funny. There's no statement from Sandoval. So now they've interjected Sandoval into this, even though they got nothing from him. So he too will have to be up on the stand.
Well, also, why were there only 2 body cams when there was a total of 6?
Exactly. Because he would have had to go get statements from all of those cops. And because he was already being a lion-ass fucking lazy cop, why would he do that? You know what I mean? So those 2 little pussies that night went and cried to a sergeant because they got fucking tooled out here. They did. Did I interfere with their work? Hell no, I didn't. But they were fucking humiliated when they left here, and I'm glad. Because they deserved it. In the middle of a snowstorm. Subsequent to that activity that night, we got dumped on with 6 inches of snow. Those people were buried in snow, and they wanted them to move in the middle of the night, risking their lives, not being able to get set back up to survive. They did that with pure fucking evil intent, and I would tell them the same thing again. You don't hear it enough. You are evil, sick fucks. Here's another thing. Sartain, I'm really interested in your career, so I've been studying what is available in public information. And I see that you accepted an award back in 2014-15, the CAP Award, the Citizen Appreciation Award, that the Denver Police pride themselves on as social workers. These cops don't get awarded for doing cop work. They get awarded for being fucking social workers with no skills. Sartain was awarded some humanitarian award for helping a woman set up a bank account. A disabled woman set up a bank account. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he was awarded that, and he took family photos on the Denver Police Facebook page. You know what, Sartain? Go take some fucking parenting classes, because those 2 little boys that were in that picture, you're raising them to be evil little fucking human beings. Go take some parenting classes, you piece of shit.
Amen to that. Jen, she is reading her text. She's getting to them very, very slowly. So
okay, hold on. So that explains why 6 officers were on scene, but only 2 officers made a statement. If they felt like they couldn't do their job, why not ask their supervisor for help when they came on the scene? Not one of them made a move to tell those supervisors anything. If you'll recall, those 2 sergeants came out here in masks. We were right down here. They came out here in masks, walked up to me. I asked them if they were the sergeants. They said yes. I asked them, who ordered you guys to come out here in a fucking snowstorm and do this? And they all stood there in complete silence.
Right.
For what, 15 seconds?
Yep.
Not one of them could answer the question. And then ultimately, those sergeants, one of them tried to hand me a card. I said, I don't want your fucking cards. You're fucking idiots. And then I went and told Mansour, no wonder you're so fucking stupid. That's your example. And I would say it again. But during all of that, not one of those cops said she's interfering. Not one of those cops ever asked me to stop interfering. Those sergeants turned around and went back in their vehicle.
Yeah, Mansour, as a matter of fact, Mansour, I believe, is the one that says you go ahead and do whatever, or something along those lines. You're okay.
Yeah, just as
whatever.
long as you don't get in my face.
Right.
And I was never that fucking close to get in that guy's face. This, I would consider in your face. You and I are what?
About maybe
2 or 3 feet
Yeah,
from each other
2
right
feet,
now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Sartain goes on to say in all these documents, he knew the exact measurements of
How is that?
Yeah.
Did he have a tape measure with him?
and he was never here. So this
Right.
detective is writing in first person as if he was here. He's using measurements of 5 and 6 feet and within 5 feet. What the actual fuck?
These guys, you cannot make this up, folks. They are really, really stupid in District 4. If anything, District 4 has the stupidest police officers in all of Denver.
Yeah, they
The
have a
dumbest.
serious concentration of stupid, just stupid human beings. There are a handful of them, I'm going to say less than 6,
Yeah.
in District 4 with a brain.
I would-
just...
I mean, I think that that's a little high, but I mean...
Well, let me tell you, I'm
it's
basing
fair.
it based on my experience, because ultimately, at the end of the day, what ended up happening out here, this gets really interesting.
Okay.
The SET team, the street enforcement team, came out here after this night on February 1st, I can't remember the exact date, and cited all of them with a tow warning and signed it as the SET team. Well, the SET team is the new team in Denver that has been given some ad hoc authority to enforce certain statutes and blah, blah, blah. They have no arrest authority. The cops supersede the authority of the SET team. So after that happened, a cop with a brain, and his name is Blake McGregor. He's a young cop here in District 4, came out here and gave them an additional 72 hours to move. Now, when I was out here that night telling those cops, if you're not going to do this the right way, neither are we, I fucking meant it. And so things didn't get done the right way. So these people didn't move. So the cop that ultimately ended up coming and giving the 72-hour notice was the only cop that did anything right in 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
And all of the people moved. They were all cooperative with it because he wasn't a dick. So, they're going to either work the right way. Look, we could go down a philosophical rabbit hole here with homelessness and the amount of stuff they have and the trash and yada, yada, yada. I have never, ever, ever been a supporter of setting up scrapyards, okay, in the street. For one, that's beyond just simple survival. I've always said you have a right to survive. You don't have a right to come out here and be an asshole neighbor. That's just the state of the state right now. However, this is public property, okay? These people have nowhere to go. The city has no solutions. There are no solutions to housing for a majority of these people, and they're going to be out here. And if you're going to come out here and treat them inhumanely, there's going to be pushback. Hello?
Yeah. That's a main theme of when I drive and I see homeless person after homeless person on the streets on Colfax, right? You know, Regan, I frequent Colfax every day, from all the way from Lakewood all the way to Aurora, and there's a plethora of homeless people over there. It's not bound to District 4, right? They're all over the city, right? All over the city. And I make it a point to point that out. What the fuck are these people supposed to do? What? Did you see something?
I'm just looking at my super chat. I have $200 in this super chat. Eat Your Broccoli showed up again for the fight. Check that out.
Wow.
You guys are amazing.
Can I get your viewers?
Yeah,
to
you
jump
come
on
out
over?
here and fight with these fuckers and have to do what I have to do.
I
now,
haven't done a quarter of what Regan.
you know, and now they love this shit because now they think, oh, good, we got her. We got her. No, you don't. You don't fucking have me. This
Right.
isn't going to stop me.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to take time and money to fucking fight this, but I'm going to fight it.
Right.
And in the process, you're all going to get exposed, and I hope you all get criminally charged. But it's going to take a higher level of investigation. Where's our attorney general on this kind of abuse by the police?
That's a great question.
They are committing crimes
Yes.
against me. They have retaliated so heavily against me and my husband, which, by the way, we just got that cleared up.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. That's great.
Yeah, a lot of followers remember when right over there, just right over there, that gray warehouse over there.
That gray warehouse in the distance.
Yep,
there.
my husband and I drove over there because 3 cops were sitting over there doing who knows what. But what ended up happening was John Shaw performed a bogus traffic stop. And then on top of the bogus traffic stop, he entered for my husband to have his driver's license suspended because in the state of Colorado, and there are a lot of people that don't know this, cops, lawyers, a lot of people don't know that a cop has the ability at any time to enter a document to the Department of Motor Vehicles asking for a motorist to be retested for any reason. And the DMV is supposed to send you a letter and tell you that you're being ordered into the DMV to retest written and driven for your driver's license. And so, of course, we never got the letter. Had we gotten the letter, we would have handled it. So lo and behold, we get pulled over on I-70 on the way up to the mountains because Colorado State Patrol, Gary Cutler, who is part of the Colorado State Patrol public relations team, thought he was going to pace traffic up the mountain that day and got pissed off because my husband passed him in the left lane. So he wanted to try to get him for speeding. When he couldn't get him on that, he realized that his driver's license had been suspended. So then he cited him for driving without a license. So then my husband had to take another day off of work and go up to Georgetown into Clear Creek County this last week to get that charge dismissed by the DA up there. And now they're pulling this shit. They are fucking retaliating. It could not be any clearer.
It's very, very apparent. I mean, Regan is, I say this and it's not hyperbole, folks. Regan is the GOAT out here. I know she's humble. She's not going to say it. She is the greatest of all time when it comes to advocating for the homeless people, especially in District 4. Nobody does it better. Nobody gets under the skin of the police like Regan Benson, and that is exactly what they hate.
That's passion. And if you're going to pick an issue, take it all the way. You know what I mean? If you are a firm believer that this country is defined by how we treat our weakest, you better take it serious. Because if they're willing to do this to me, what do you think they're doing to the homeless?
That's another point. I point that out all the time. Like, we all have our nice cushy homes. We hang out, we watch TV, we play video games, we do whatever. But what about these people on the streets that have no voice? You know, that don't know their rights. They may not know their rights. You know, some of them are starting to get a little bit better about it.
They are. And they're afraid. And how can you blame them?
They are afraid, and how can you blame them? Because the fucking cops always wield their authority like they know how.
Yep.
And if it's not somebody like Regan or I that are out on the streets fucking advocating for these people, I don't know if you saw my Valentine's Day video, Regan, where this guy was like kind of like using his foot to push over a homeless guy.
I saw it.
And stuff. I mean, if we don't stand up and say something about shit like that, who the fuck else is going to do that? You know, nobody is going to do that. So
I agree.
It's up to people like Regan to get out here when there's all kinds of fuckery going on with the police.
It's not just up to me. it's our responsibility.
It's all of our responsibilities, yes.
To redress your government.
That's right.
When they're acting like this. It's not just up to me or
Right.
you or a couple
Right.
other people. Every fucking person should be up in arms over
this
what they're
shit.
doing.
Yep, absolutely.
They're wasting
100%.
taxpayer dollars. Okay, here's another text.
Government is the enemy of the people at this time in history, David Bruce says.
Ghostwriter's on his way. He wants to talk to us. I had
Okay.
invited Ghostwriter out here to talk about what he uncovered.
Gotcha. No, I got the message. Thank you.
Because Ghostwriter ended up doing some records requests on the signage that was here that night, because that signage gave some direction that the parks director could issue a special order. And so Ghostwriter did a records request on that, and Parks has never issued a special order on any of these types of, what are we going to call this? Eviction. They don't have that kind of authority. And so there are a lot of people interested in what is going on, because Denver is so frickin' corrupt with this shit. They've gotten away with it. They think this is how they're going to target and deal with homelessness, and it ain't working. It's not working with everybody. Yeah, granted, these businesses, they love it. They don't give a shit. They'll support whatever.
Yeah,
you
matter
know?
of fact, look at get a shot of that sign up there.
Yeah, Total Floors. What is this? Oh, oh hell, I didn't even see this.
Did you see that? That's
Look at this shit.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Regan's just now noticing this.
I didn't even notice that. Wow.
Sign, it's Total Floors on West Tennessee.
You
along
are
with,
being watched
community
24/7. Suspicious
auto
activity will be sent to the police.
Yeah.
Well, then they certainly aren't going to they're not going to mind any recording from the street about suspicious activity they might have going on here. Are they here at Total Floors?
No, they don't mind at all.
Ah, that's interesting. I didn't even notice this.
Yeah,
How,
I saw that when I walked up. I took a picture of it, and
I wonder how long this has been up here.
I
Oh,
don't
look
know.
at their cameras on their buildings.
Yeah,
That's
and they
cute.
got cameras there. There's one on the other side over there, and it's all pointed out here.
Right.
You know, because
There's another camera.
they don't like the visuals. That's the whole thing. They don't like the visual of a camper out here.
Huh. What do you
So-
know? You know, and I also know there was some shenanigans going on between the businesses and some city council members. And so the
Yeah,
reason,
right, McDonald.
yeah, the reason they got so aggressive was because, you know, it's political grandstanding. I mean, what are these businesses? What's their interest? You know what I mean? What, are they concerned about the parking? What has their property been broken into numerous times? What's the deal here?
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I've called people out on that. I don't know if you remember that. It's one of my favorite videos all time, Regan. We were out on a sweep, and this jackass from one of the businesses kept on talking to you about
the fire.
about the fires, the
Yep.
explosions from the meth.
Yeah, he was lying.
that was making out there, the broken windows. He said the homeless people take rocks and break out
Yeah.
windows all the time.
They never
and-
have any proof.
yeah,
which
and there's
is
never any
mind-blowing.
proof. And I sat there for 10 minutes and I couldn't fucking take it anymore. And I said, enough is enough. And I know you
Right.
wanted to let him keep going and hang himself, but he
Oh, I
already
love
did, in my
it
view.
when they talk like that.
You know, and I shamed him all the way to his business. I'm like, look, everybody, here's the biggest fucking liar in Denver, because he sat there and he lied for 10 straight fucking minutes right to Regan about all these meth houses
Yep.
and meth, you know.
Fuck Total
stuff that.
Floors. Boycott them. Yep, indeed. Boycott this business. See, this is how the free market works. When you act like this, you get extra attention. There you go. Here's their address. 640 West Tennessee.
Yeah, Total Floors. Boycott, boycott, boycott. If
There
you're
you
in
go.
Denver, don't do business with Total Floors.
And maybe we need to figure out what building and code zoning violations they've got going on.
Well, look at that. That I'm sure that's not up to code right there.
Yeah.
That electric
that
thing.
extension cord. Hey, fire department, looky there. They need an
Perfect.
inspection. When
Look
was
at
their last building inspection? Do they have an elevator in here? What's going on? What's in their stairwell? I mean, the laws apply to you too, Total Floors.
Right,
We're watching.
right. Big Brother's watching us, Noel says, that's for sure. Truth hidden in plain view, McDonald, I totally agree. Thanks for all the Ghost Rider stuff. Regan knows he's on his way. We'll try to stick around for Ghost. ATL.
Wow. What a bunch of
Nathan
assholes.
Hayes, thanks for stopping by. I saw you in there, but you know, it's important to get this information out there because this fucking arrest warrant, which I don't know now if it's a cite and release or an actual arrest warrant. I'm sure Regan doesn't want to find out today.
Well, here I am. I mean, they know where I'm at. If they want to come give me the summons and citation or
Right.
arrest me or whatever
Well,
they're
they
going to do.
specifically told you not to go to District
Yep.
4, so
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
I don't know who's going to order me in. Order in only.
Freedom Flat Out. What's up?
Yeah, that's the
What's up,
process I'm not familiar with. But you guys, wow, I just want to thank you for these super chats. Eat your broccoli. Who else did that? I'm sorry. Ellie, can you name that for me?
I think if you click on it, it'll tell you.
I tried that. So if we go in here, hit this, I guess I just see the last one.
Well,
But there's
hold
more.
on.
Yeah, how in the hell do you do this?
Usually what I do is I just do this.
It pops up?
It should pop up, yeah. Can you get that off now? Yeah, get that off and then we'll...
Just
I
go
don't
to
know what
live
you do.
chat?
Yeah, go to live chat and then let's take a peek here. Yeah, normally when I do that, I have no idea who did the super chats, but thank you
Yeah,
on Regan's
very
stream
much.
for supporting the cause for sure, because that makes a big difference. I mean, it's not a small thing to put in that amount of money for one, and two, for the right cause. I mean,
Right.
I've seen a lot of fuckery on chats with like drama chats, and they'll throw in $100 for somebody that totally doesn't deserve it. But Regan does awesome work, and I'm super happy that she's getting a little bit of monetary support.
It's not me. It's the nonprofit, and every bit of it that comes
nonprofit.
right
She runs
back
a
out here.
nonprofit, and it goes straight to the
None of that money goes to me.
No.
I'd be lucky if I I feel guilty if I fill my gas tank.
Right.
That I even pay for my own gas.
Yeah.
People think
Regan-
I'm probably I don't know. People have this false perception that I'm making a fucking living
Oh yeah,
off of
no.
this. You're out of your
That-
mind.
Let's get things clear. All of that goes to the nonprofit. So anytime that you donate to Regan, it goes to her nonprofit. She does not take a salary from her nonprofit.
Nope. Nobody
it's-
gets paid a dime
It's
out of
just
my
amazing
nonprofit.
what this woman does and what she's endured, and that's why I always say Regan is the GOAT, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
Thank
Not
you.
even Regan.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome.
But there's so much work to always do and be done. Now, this week I gotta take people to doctor's appointments. We gotta try to go find shit in storage.
God.
Yeah.
The storage thing fucking kills me, man. Why they only have certain hours
Oh,
that
they're
you can
terrible.
go get your shit?
Well, I made special arrangements with the department head of storage, Adam Abeda, and he was supposed to email me for a time to be able to meet him to take John down there to go through his things. Because John is not well enough to do that, and he needs help. And so I'm asking them to work with me. They said they would, but I'm still waiting to hear when all that's going to go down. So, there's that going on behind the scenes. There's still a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees and knows about.
Right.
You know?
And I say that all the time. It's
Yeah.
like, people think that all I do is drive down Colfax. It's not the case. I'm always, out and about doing something. I don't always put everything on camera because I don't.
Well, you can't. Look at me. You only got so many hands. Ellie, that's from Eat Your... all of that is from Eat Your Broccoli. Both of those super chats. Wow. Thank you. That is the healthiest form of super chat money. Eat Your Broccoli. I love it. Thank you so very much.
Yeah. Thanks, Eat Your Broccoli. You're awesome. I've seen you in my chats. So anyways, I'm going to end my live stream, guys. We're waiting for Ghost. If anything exciting happens, then let me turn the camera around and say hi to everybody. What's up, y'all? My hair's a mess, but luckily I always have my hat on.
I'll put these in the car.
Yep. Go right ahead.
Well, we're done with this part of
Thank you guys.
what we wanted to
I really
talk about
appreciate
today.
It's been a little bit of a different.
Gonna put this in the
stream, but,
car
you know,
and
sometimes-
wait for Ghost Rider.
My channel's a little different than the majority, right? So I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you guys for joining and listening to Regan's.
And yeah, I
story about her arrest warrant. You guys
maybe
saw the
showed
video.
too much of that document with my personal information on it, but if any of you capture that and you do something with it, you're gonna pay the price. Okay, I'm gonna get in the car and take a look here at chat again. Sorry. Stick with me. All right, here we are. Yeah, nice sunny Sunday afternoon here. It's probably 50 degrees. We're kind of waiting for Ghost Rider to show up. He's got some information he wants to share about some records requests and stuff that he did on park stuff, which has everything to do with this case, because they were out here trying to do something unlawful to begin with. They were literally out here to harass the hell out of the homeless using any kind of sign, ordinance, whatever they could, and we busted them on it. And remember, they forgot to admit that they were here an hour prior as well, driving down the street on their vehicle PA system, telling everybody they had an hour to get out of here on February 1st. There are plenty of people that saw it and heard it and will testify that that's what they were out here doing. Okay, so yeah, unbelievable that banner is up there. That thing wasn't cheap. This business has a lot of money, huh? To be doing shit like that. You are being watched 24/7. Suspicious activity will be reported to the police. What the hell is suspicious activity? Anyway, what is that? What's suspicious activity? And what are the police going to do about suspicious activity when they can't even come out here and arrest someone that has a fucking warrant? This is how stupid this is. Oh, more money in that super chat. Thank you very, very much. I have the best mods in the world as well. MD, $10 for ranch dressing for the broccoli. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, want to have a seat here?
Yeah, sure.
Wait for his ghost.
Why not? Did you end your live?
Chat. No, I'm still live. We're looking at comments. Jack Brown. Regan has proven herself over and over. Oh, Ellie is telling Jack. Thank you, Ellie. Jack should know that.
Jack Brown? Yeah, Jack's cool. I like Jack.
My grandfather said to me once, respect comes to a man who is a gentleman until it comes time to not be a gentleman. So I believe it works for both gender. Yeah. Well, be an asshole and you're going to get treated like an asshole, regardless of your gender. I mean, that's just how life works. That's karma. So I don't owe these cops respect. They get what they command, period. I'm done with that bullshit. Oh, you should always stay true to, being a reflection of yourself. And yeah, I am. You treat me like shit and you're a cop, I'm going to treat you like shit. That's how that works. You respect me, I'll respect you. I'm not going to earn their respect anymore. They're not worthy of it. They're distrustful. They're dishonest. No. I have to look at every one of them and go, okay, what's this one going to be about today? All right, I'll give him 30 seconds and we'll try to figure this one out. But that's about it. So that's how that's going to work. I got plenty of videos. Just the other day when I went out to District 3 and called them about all the vehicles on the CDOT lot, that Officer Pitsley was incredibly cordial, very respectful. It was great, whatever. They did their job. And the reason I called is because if the homeless cannot be on public property, neither can anybody else, and they're not going to use it for storage, period. So they claim to have found a bunch of stolen vehicles over there. Great. They were doing their job. But there are also residents over there using that as their personal storage. And I'm going to keep calling. So And hopefully they'll respond like that every time. And actually, I do think when I'm done here, I'm going to drive back over there because Pitsley said that he was giving those people the opportunity to move their vehicles. And if they didn't, I asked him if he was going to do his job by posting them with a 72-hour notice, and he said he would get to that. And then I left, so I never did follow up on that. So I'm going to go see if people are still using the CDOT lot for storage when I'm done here. Alan B said, nice work, Regan and Mexican long hair. Thank you, Alan B.
Alan B is awesome.
Yeah.
What's up, Alan B?
One of our biggest supporters ever. Thank you, Tasha. Hey, Rebecca. Feelings are suspicious. Hell yeah, they are. Just looking at some texts here. Anybody want to ask any questions? Anybody curious about anything? I'm very focused on chat right now.
Ask Regan about her lovely hair, how she gets it so awesome.
My lovely hair. My hair is not lovely. This is a frizzy shit show today.
No, she says that, but it's always fucking on point.
Well, thanks.
Bernie says that all the time.
You just want some of this hair. These luscious locks.
My hair's better.
We have
Regan.
luscious locks.
We both do. I mean, I have to agree.
Here come the
I mean,
park rangers again. See what they're gonna do now.
I don't know.
Is this one little girly park ranger?
Yeah, she was in a hurry to get out of there once. She was picking up trash. I noticed. She was
It
actually.
looked like she put a big pallet in the back of her truck
Yeah,
or something.
there was a pallet
Oh,
down there.
was it?
And she picked up a little bit of trash. What is she doing?
I don't know. Oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's a
different park
guy.
ranger. That's a guy. That's probably the one that has more authority, even though they have no
None.
authority.
I like it when they come out.
Thank you, Chronically Fabulous. Hair looks suspicious. You couldn't be more correct, MD. We're talking about the banner here. Suspicious activity. What is considered suspicious activity? Trying to survive?
Well, I am a Mexican out here, so maybe that's suspicious.
You know, you got a little bit of that dark skin going on. You're in all dark clothing.
I am. I got black-
Excuse me,
a black
Denver
vest,
Police Department District 4. There's a guy out here at 600 West Tennessee. He looks suspicious and he's kind of scaring me because he's got sunglasses on, and then I don't know what to do. Can you come out here, please? Thanks. Bye.
I can't wait for the day that somebody says that, man. It's going to be awesome.
No, it's not, because the cops will show up and probably frickin' use force on you.
Yeah, not if I have my camera. They're wussies when it comes to the camera.
Always record the police.
Yes. As long as you have your camera, it's like it's a repellent. I mean,
And Ellie's bringing up another, why 6 officers on February 1st, but only 2 of them complained about not being able to do their job.
fucking wussies.
One
man.
of them said they were tasked to come out here. Another one said they were responding to investigate.
See, what is it? Did somebody
I know.
send them out there,
Sorry,
or did
I'll get
they?
this off.
I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry, I got it. You
yeah.
gotta get one of these.
I
These
don't
are
know.
Cool too.
Nobody fessed up. I do need to get one of those.
These are fucking cool because it takes most of the wind out. It's a
I need to
Movo.
get one of them. But that's just another thing I gotta carry.
Movo.
Movo.
It's tiny though.
I need a
And it's so
Movo
light, like, feel it.
microphone. Well, that's fine. I know, but I only got 2 hands.
Well,
I love
me
it.
Too, but
I need
carry-
one of these. Can I
Yes.
just
Yeah, just like a
pin
little
it on
lapel.
here?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You
need.
can. I
I
mean,
gotta
you
get
might
one
need
of
a
those
little bit
little
longer.
microphones. I'm not a
Whatever.
professional YouTuber.
Well, neither am I. I just pretend to be one on YouTube, Regan.
We all pretend. We're just pretenders.
Right.
Kryptonite cameras. Yep, cameras are like kryptonite.
They hate it. I mean, it's speaking of detectives, Regan. What do you think about that detective on that one video? That he was part of the. Is he a detective or is he an RTD policeman? Transportation.
I have no idea.
Fucking weird, wasn't it?
I have no idea. But you did get 2 cops cards.
Yes, I did.
So they have the cops have the arrest authority. So
Yes.
they're driving around in those vehicles that say transit police.
Yes, transportation police.
The RTD security guys, they do not have arrest powers in Denver, even the ones that carry guns.
Yeah.
So they always have to involve the police
But it's really weird. A detective as a transit.
I know. Well, my thoughts on that are because of what was going down on Union Station.
Yeah.
They were sending detectives out there to arrest all these felons. That's another thing. Out in the press, if you Google, there were 42 arrests last Wednesday down at Union Station. And Denver is just touting themselves as the new heroes, right? And people are loving it. They're like, yeah, clean this city up. Boom. You want to talk about how many people's rights are being violated down there? There's no cameras down there. We don't have anybody down there paying attention.
I wish that I knew when they were going to go down there, because I would specifically go down there.
That activity,
and just sit there.
Well, it's going on. They're nonstop. 500 arrests since January 1st.
We should go down there.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, it's just
Sunday
another thing I don't know if I have time for, but I go down there to put people on the bus, but I should be recording when I'm down there, but I don't, because I try to keep that private when people want to leave Denver and go home, and I don't want their story blasted. But yeah, there were tons of cops down there when I was down there a week and a half ago, and Lakewood. I think Denver's partnering up with Lakewood to be down at Union Station to make a bunch of arrests.
You know what? I think that's true, because there's been more than one call that I've been on, like an accident where they share kind of a border, and it'll be Denver cops out there and not Lakewood cops out there.
Right.
Cops
are allowed to lie, but not on a notarized statement. Thank you, Ellie. But then we got to prove it in court, and we know how often cops get away with lying in court as well. So ultimately, when round robin comes full circle, yep, they get to lie.
They lie so much.
They lie.
Yes. And see, I wish the Supreme Court would have thought about that decision, right? About how the cops are allowed to lie.
Yep.
I wish they would have said no. And for this reason, because now they lie so much that nothing is straight anymore. There's nothing you can trust about police officers.
No, there's not.
Nothing.
There's not.
That's why people don't understand why I'm not cordial with police.
Yeah.
They said, well, if you want to bridge the gap, you got to be super nice and all that. I prefer not even talking to the motherfuckers, because I know that almost everything out of their mouth is going to be a fucking lie.
But I think it's good. I think it's good when we let them talk, because let them hang themselves. That's what we want the public to see. We want them to understand why they can't be trusted. Like I said, I've dealt with probably a half a dozen in District 4 with a brain. Right. That does not mean
that they're not liars.
I'd like to think that in the ways that I've worked with them, that they're not liars. But what I wanted to say is that does not mean that they would not do something unconstitutional if ordered to do it.
Right.
This is a paramilitary organization. They follow orders, period. That oath means nothing, okay? It means absolutely nothing. I would like to think that a few out of those 6 that I've worked very closely with that have a brain and know how to use it, know how to circumvent the bullshit within what they know to be unconstitutional or not follow orders in a way that allows them to keep their job. I got to keep my job thing, that's hard for me to digest. Because you want to keep a job that demands from you to go out there and do not so many good things on a daily basis. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's very, very difficult to respect the police in any way. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with us being cordial initially. I mean, there's nothing wrong with us initiating cordial conversation, but the second they turn into a dick, that's over.
Right. Well, I mean, and I talked about being cordial with cops too on my lives too, Regan. It's okay to do that, but again, it just invites fishing. It invites fucking bullshit.
But that's up to you to know when they're doing that and to answer it or not.
Hey!
I'm doing a live stream still.
What's up, Bo? How you doing, man?
We're okay so far. Thanks for stopping by. Some cops want to come look at your butt. Huh? No.
Park rangers have.
Just the park ranger. No? You see, like these new signs they put up?
The ones that are sticking up out of the ground there?
They're not the same signs that were here that
No.
night. They're different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Check that shit out. Remember this business. You need to cut off all of your business relationships that ultimately come into this place. You need to remember them. You've used them? You'll never do that again. Good to hear. Here at Total Floors, you just lost a customer within 30 seconds. Right on. That's how we'll keep doing that. Look how much money they paid for that fucking banner. To hang that, and then look at those 2 cameras up on each side.
Yeah, there's one over here on the left, too, in that
Oh.
corner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's one in that corner. They got them all over. Pointed towards the street, obviously.
So that's the guy that came out with me.
The guy
Who didn't even identify himself. Mansour told him to get out of the street because he was jaywalking. And then Mansour lied about what he put in the report. The male got out of the vehicle and started berating me.
He did no such thing.
Yeah, he did. After you told him he was jaywalking, you fucking idiot.
What a dumbass. Man.
Yeah, he berated you.
No, but not right away. They make it sound like he came out on fire. You know,
I know.
It's so stupid, man. That's what I'm talking about. The lies. You know,
Yep.
It's corruption. It's all corruption.
Right here.
Stupid. By the way, that guy's very handsome, Regan.
I know he is. Right here. This is Sartain giving his explanation of looking at Mansour's body cam footage, and he explains it as Officer Mansour told the male to step out of the road, but he leaves out the rest of the part where he told him he was jaywalking. He then just immediately goes to say the male immediately began to yell and berate Officer Mansour.
For fuck's sake, man.
He forgot to tell him. He forgot to. This is Sartain. You fucking dumbass. You leave shit out and you're lying. He told him to step out of the road because he was jaywalking. Yeah, you didn't put that in writing because why didn't he cite him then for jaywalking? They were there. They were provoking. The male immediately began to yell and berate officer. It's not how it happened. Officer Mansour told Regan Benson that he would not engage or answer her questions. Well, that's funny. He kept running his fucking mouth the whole time. The whole hour he was out here. He kept making excuses and explanations and trying to explain his actions. Blah, 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 blah.
Never ends with these fuckers, man. Fuckery never ends.
Nope. Right here. Here's a statement he makes from body cam footage. Regan Benson was within 5 feet of the male citizen, recording and engaging both Officer Mansour and the male with questions and statements. Both Regan and the unidentified male were bombarding the male citizen with questions. No, I wasn't asking anybody out here any fucking questions.
You got it all on cam. That's what's
I know.
so stupid
and
about
he puts
this.
the shit in writing. Miss Benson further states, don't tell these fuckers shit. They are out here to fuck with you and harass you. That is a true statement.
Did say that.
That is a true statement. That has nothing to do with interfering.
Nope.
It has nothing to do with preventing them from doing their job. And then he goes on to say, Officer Mansour, bend over to take a photo of a license plate. Bend, not bent over. Officer Mansour bend over to take a photo of a license plate, period. While doing so, Regan Benson was to his left, angrily berating him. When Officer Mansour faced Miss Benson, she was within 5 feet.
That's another fucking horseshit story.
5 feet of Officer Mansour, distracting him from his duties. Officer Mansour changed his direction of travel to get away from Miss Benson, further interfering with his duties. So he had to change direction because Shit is
These
classic.
guys are the most fragile fucking
Are they
little
not?
girls I've ever seen, man. They have a badge, they have a fucking gun, they have tasers.
Assigned detective notes that cover officers. Okay, assigned detective. This is Sartain. The fucker was never out here. Notes that cover officers were called due to the erratic behavior, angry berating, and close proximity of Regan Benson. I love these feelings.
If he was so threatened, why didn't he pull out his gun?
Oh God, don't even go there.
No, I'm serious. If he was so threatened by you, Regan, why didn't he pull out his gun?
Why didn't he detain me? Why didn't he put it? I mean, they did nothing to try to stop me from interfering. No crime scene tape. No stand over there. No, do
Nothing.
not come closer. They
Not once,
never
not once.
gave me an order of any sort. They asked one time. Sandoval asked one time to step away from the vehicle. Because I asked him, why do I have to step away? Because I asked you to. Okay, and I fucking walked off. It was literally that simple.
I think when he, if I remember correctly, I'll have to go back and look at the video again because I've seen it a few times. When he said something, you did back up. I mean, you were talking, you were yelling.
I walked away.
You were away to begin with, but you even backed up even more.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how exactly he figured out that it was 5 feet. Is he a
I don't know if he had.
He wasn't out there.
He wasn't there.
He knows exactly how far away you were.
Yep,
from
5 feet to 6 feet,
So
greater
stupid.
than 5 feet.
So that's going to get thrown out.
I mean, but he goes. These are pages and pages of him supposedly having gone through the body cam footage of Mansour, and note at all these timestamps. None of this is true. None of this is true. Officer Mansour contacted several citizens who were involved with the illegally parked vehicles. Okay, well, first of all, were they here to do an investigation on illegally parked vehicles? Were they? He explained the situation to the citizens, and he was able to do this quietly and respectfully while Regan Benson was busy berating another officer's 30 yards away. He put that shit in writing.
30 yards.
30 yards away.
Gee, man, these guys are so stupid, man. It's so exhausting to go through the mental gymnastics that these guys have to do to make themselves look so stupid.
I know.
So
it's
stupid.
harder. It's harder to do this than it is to
just to
tell the truth. I mean, you gotta really get into making shit up. You gotta really start using your imagination when you're doing stuff like this. Regan Benson then came back within 6 feet of Officer Mansour.
Oh, now it's 6 feet.
Now we're back to 6 feet, and engaged the cover officers, stating, "Can I talk to you about the shriveled dick syndrome? Did you come out here to shrivel your dick? Is that what you are used to? Or do you even have a dick to shrivel?"
Can you imagine that shit?
What man wants to get on the stand and go?
Oh my God.
Yeah, she attacked my character for an hour straight because she told me that my dick was shriveled, and then she made a YouTube video later on telling me, Sartain, that I needed to go take parenting classes because I was raising shitty human beings.
How dare her!
We need her charged with interference because we have this bullshit municipal code that can get her charged at any time, anywhere for doing anything to us. Boom.
They hate it.
This is going to be a shit show. There's going to be a shit show in court. This judge is going to be pissed. That ends up having to take this case.
I agree.
It's going to fuck up their docket.
I agree.
Because I'm entitled to process.
Yep. I totally agree. This isn't an easy one.
Asking for it.
They're going to have to work for this one.
Yes, they are.
I'm pretty sure the jury's going to see it one way.
Oh. Furthermore, it took at least 3 officers to block Miss Benson from Officer Moen so that he could complete the tickets and accomplish his duties.
Oh my God.
It took 3 officers to block me.
Why?
They never gave me an order. They just needed to block me.
I'd like to see those statements.
Yeah, they're not in here.
They're not in there. I wonder why.
Well, they're gonna be. They're gonna be on the stand because they've invited them right into the process. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. 7 pages of you're affiant, Joey Sartain, who's raising shitty human beings, about what he thought he saw and how he felt about what he saw. This is what I'm talking about with cops never learning how to write. You never, ever, ever write shit like this, legal documents, with adjectives describing your feelings. That's how you know that this person has never even learned how to write. They've never taken any form of a writing class beyond 8th grade. This is literal 8th grade writing material. By the time kids get to high school, they should. They don't, because we have a shitty public education system. They should know the difference in writing. And you never, ever write a legal document based on your feelings. Ever.
Get you in trouble. Well, except if you're a cop. Apparently you could be dumb as a rock and write shit.
At 26 minutes and 5 seconds, Miss Benson attempted to get Officer Sandoval. Here he mentions Sandoval again. Where's Sandoval's statement? Attempted to get Officer Sandoval to take a police action of her own design and was ordering him to disregard his current police duties. This is when I muted my camera and I explained to Sandoval who the individual was, where he was, and that he had a warrant. So all of a sudden that turns into me ordering. I ordered Sandoval to stop doing what he was doing? No, he was taking the information and he was supposed to give it to the other officers. He said he would. So yeah, you're affiant, Joey Sartain. You just interjected Sandoval into some serious legal proceedings here. Very serious. And there's no statement from him. None.
I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Look who's here.
I see. Your affiant observed that Miss Benson was within 5 feet of the officer doing the paperwork and was within arm's reach of the officers keeping her back. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Your affiant noted that Miss Benson did not maintain a respectable distance from officers and was in between police cars, in between officers, actively yelling, inciting obstruction, injecting herself in police contacts. Look who's here! How are you?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good. How are you doing?
Good, I'm still streaming.
I slept in late today.
Did ya?
Yes. It's Sunday.
That's
I can do
okay.
that.
You're entitled to do that. You
What's
gonna
up,
do a
Ghost?
stream?
No, actually, I'm going to do an interview of you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I get to do an interview with Ghostwriter. Are you
The-
still
the-
doing...
The topic, of course, is going to be that Regan Benson saved Denver from multiple lawsuits, and to thank her,
Oh,
they
really?
gave her her own lawsuit.
I love it.
So,
How did I save them from multiple lawsuits?
well, I was wanting to get an on-the-spot interview,
Okay.
but you became aware of the situation down here that they were illegally trying to remove people.
Yep.
So you intervened
Yep.
and preventing them, any of them, from getting a ticket or
Yep.
anything. So that prevented every one of those from suing Denver.
True. But you know, there's a little caveat to that because they came back out and Parks did give them tickets on the 12th.
I do understand that,
Okay.
but they gave them a different ticket,
Right.
not the same one as the signs.
You see we have all new signs now?
Yes.
Isn't that
Yes, I do.
fascinating? All right,
It's
where do you want to
because-
do this? This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
Do you
right
care
out here.
if do you have time? Do you want to hold this
I can hold that. I can.
while he does the interview?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can live stream it.
All right.
We're going to be coming up with questions and answers because it's going to be an edited video rather than a live stream.
We're going to do an interview with
So-
Ghostwriter. He's going to ask me some questions. He's going to edit and post it on your channel, right? Ghostwriter.
Yes, this is
So-
going to be more of a news story like you would see on TV.
Yeah, he does good news story stuff. That's kind of his
Well,
gig.
I haven't done very many of them. I need to do more of them.
You still doing Stringer?
Oh, yes.
Right on.
I would do more
so
of
is
them if
him, but he's only gotten one sold, so
they. Yeah.
It's
he ain't getting out there doing very many of them.
Who's
I
him?
I do
You?
as many as I can, Ghost.
Yeah.
I can't get to all of them, man.
I think that he gets discouraged because they're not buying the video.
No, I mean, 1 out of 10. I mean, that is kind of a low percentage, but
Well, it'll go up.
yeah,
I haven't seen any of your videos yet to give you any tips
yeah.
on how to sell them.
Well, last time you said that they were happy with what I've been doing. So
Do you want
Yeah.
to do that in the street in front of this business? Did you catch what they're doing here? Because then we'll be in the shade, but we'll be in the
The sign?
street. Yeah.
I've already got footage of that.
Do you?
For the story.
Right
So
on.
I also got the old signs. I got footage of that. So I'll be taking footage of the newer signs, of course.
Okay.
But I need to get the interview
All right.
with
Let's do it.
this information that I'm going to be providing you to get a response.
Right on. This is a good story, Ghost.
So this is going to be a little
we
bit
go.
more involved than just a flipping.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I think it's important. So he's going to do a complete story on what went down here.
Yeah, I agree there.
I think it's okay, but I don't know. I don't know how to charge.
Unless you're
I
getting
gotta
super
charge.
chats, you're making less than 50 cents a day.
Oh yeah. Well, I never get super chat, so
YouTube famous. I made $650 last year. You want to do
That's
this
about what I
outside?
made.
Where do you want me?
Yeah, out in the sun. Out in the sun is much better, where the sun will be facing into your face, where
Okay.
where you're not in the shade.
All right.
But if you don't want to do it in the sun, I can put you off to the side and it'll be half shade, but it won't look as good on video.
You do what looks good.
Having you in the full sun is much better.
All right. I might have
I
to-
feel like I'm a behind the scenes extra features person right now.
Right?
Only from here up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty bright. Can I put my sunglasses on?
If you want, yes. That's
Let me
fine.
put my sun-
Do you want a wind microphone? I have one in my car.
No.
Okay.
I need windy.
Well, it's a really good
Does that pick up
microphone.
Sound good?
Yes. It picks up the sound very well.
All right.
And make sure that I'm not shadowing onto you. So step to your left just a little. There you go.
To my right or to my left?
Or you're fine right
Okay.
now. Are you familiar with Man on the Street interviews?
No.
No. That's where they ask you your name and spell it. and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
So I'm going to get that part first.
Okay.
So, but can I get your name for the record? And can you spell it, please?
Regan Benson. R-E-G-A-N. Last name Benson. B as in boy. E-N-S-O-N.
Okay, I'm pausing now for a moment. Have you read over this? Well, I'm going to get this, ask that same question, but I want to ask it pre-asked about the Denver Parks designation
Authority?
policy.
I read it, but I'm not going to remember anything in it.
Okay, here I'll give it to you to refresh your memory real quick
Okay.
about what is a park and what is not a park.
Right.
So under section 2.2 is the important one where it says
Parkways and boulevards.
what is a park and what is not a park.
Right.
What is not a park is what's a park.
What is not a park?
Yes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start again.
Okay.
Okay, are you familiar with the Denver Parks policy that you have in your hands there to refresh your memory?
I am. What is not a park?
Yes. So are you aware of that the fact that the street is not the park according to their rules?
I'm fully aware of that.
Can you tell me what their rule says on there?
Well, let's look specifically at 2.2 parkways and boulevards. Listed in section 49-16 of the Denver Revised Municipal Code, and all rights of way dedicated by ordinance for street or alley uses. Again, for street or alley uses is defined as what is not a park.
So we can safely say that the street out here is not the park,
Correct?
just by that alone, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Pausing again. Let's go to the next section. Instead of pre-asking it, I'm gonna let you find it on the paper instead. On this paper, when I ask you the question. I want you on the first one first.
This one or this one?
That one first. 93 or 39-1.
Oh, what they were using out
Yeah,
here.
that's the signs. Okay. All right, I'm going to start again. All right, under section 39-4, as I've given you a paper that designates it, can you tell us a little bit about what they're saying about that?
Well, what they're trying to say is that it'll be unlawful for any person other than authorized personnel to engage in any use of activities in any area or part of any park.
Right.
The street is not the park.
Yes.
So they did try to come out here and enforce what might happen in the park on the street. They can't enforce that on the street.
Right. So you are aware of that part. Were you aware of 39-2, which is on the next sheet?
39-2, adoption of rules. So this
Yes.
kind of talks about giving the Parks and Rec director the ability to make up rules as they go along and apply them
Right.
under a special directive.
Right. Under normal policy, they would bring up a public hearing in order to enact a change of rules. Can you read to me section G on that sheet?
Section G states the manager may adopt a temporary directive without following the notice and hearing requirements of this section if such action is necessary to comply with state, local, or federal law, or if it is deemed necessary by the manager to protect immediately the public health, safety, or welfare, or to protect or preserve a park, parkway, medium mountain park, or other recreational facility. On and on about adoption of a temporary directive.
Yeah, okay, but the important part is coming up on that.
Okay.
Under the policy, they have to follow certain steps. Does it list those steps in there?
The steps. Well, after adoption of a temporary directive, the complete text of the temporary directive, so adopted, shall be filed with the city clerk, and a notice of adoption shall be published.
Are you aware of any publication of these temporary notices?
Absolutely not.
In the search that I have done, I've located none of them, by the way. I have extensively searched Denver's website that has an online search for the city clerk. I've also inquired with the city clerk about any such published notices or any filings with the city clerk. And I have found 0 filings since I did my search from January of last year, not this year, last year. So we're talking 14 months of a search to see if any directives were published in that time, and none seem to be published.
And what's also notable about that if such temporary directive was published, it shall not continue in effect for more than 180 days after the date of its adoption.
Yes.
But it doesn't exist.
Well, it might exist, but the problem is they didn't publish it and they didn't file it with the clerk. Now, if you go back just a little bit on the steps on how to put it in there, on I think it might have been F.
On the 120
Possibly.
days, the judicial or quasi-judicial action.
No,
To
hang
contest?
on a second here. I'm gonna wants to say something.
Scottish, thank you very much for that super chat. I'm just doing behind the scenes of an interview that Ghostwriter is taking with Regan Benson. This is obviously Regan's channel. Thank you all for hanging in here. She's just doing a man on the street interview with Ghostwriter. But thank you very much for that super chat, and anybody else who put a super chat in. Really, really appreciate that.
And copying. Right. So that's what we want to talk about. And
later, Jack. Appreciate that. Thank you, Alan. Ellie, I see you in there.
It's somewhere. Where is it? Oh, here we go. The first one.
Make sure you hit that like button, y'all. We got 91. Can we get to 100? That would be really, really cool.
Or legality by the city attorney.
Yep.
That's the important
this.
part,
Right.
because it has to be brought in front of the city attorney for approval before it can be published and filed, because the attorney's got to say, yes, this is
Yep.
legal, as compared to the
I bet Marley would be the one for that. Hey Marley, city attorney's office, you
So-
better get them parks people under control.
So that's the part that we need because of the fact that it's not published. And it didn't, from what we can tell, it didn't go by the city attorney to say, yes, this is legal for them to put these signs up.
Any
That's-
of these signs, for
well, yeah.
that matter.
Yes,
Even the current ones.
yes, I
Yeah,
understand that.
Gotcha.
I understand that. That would fall under the Department of, huh?
I was going to say engineering, but it's not engineering.
It's, well, Public Works, which has now changed names to.
Yeah.
Department of the Transportation and Infrastructure.
Yep,
That's the one.
that's it.
That's the
There
one.
you go.
That it would fall under their rules at that point for these signs, which also requires, if I remember right, a public hearing for these signs to
Yep.
be changed, which obviously never happened.
Yeah, we need to go down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole because Scott Burton from Zoning and Planning,
Yes,
he's told me that signage is placed based on philosophy.
yes. So all these
Philosophy.
signs here that when I started to research on these new ones, because I wasn't aware of them until I came down here, that they had changed them,
Right.
is they're all based on public hearings and everything else and input of the neighborhood and of course
I
legality.
didn't know that process.
So, oh yeah,
I didn't know there was a
it's a
public
big
hearing
process.
process.
All right, are we ready to talk about that section?
Okay.
Okay, can you tell me now about the process that they're required to go through normally for the legalities of filing and
Approval.
publishing it to the public so that they are aware that it has happened?
So the rules shall become effective upon dating and signing of the rules by the manager and the approval of the rules for legality by the city attorney. Within 7 business days after adoption of the rules, the manager shall file a copy of the rules as finally adopted with the clerk and recorder, and the city attorney shall cause to be published a notice of their adoption in an official publication of the city. The notice shall include a statement that the rules are on file with the manager online at a specified Denver website and available for public inspection and copy, which would include all the signage that has already been put up here. We call that illegally because it hasn't gone through any of this process.
Right. So we will go into the process for the other one at a later time for the current signs that are up. So, I'll pause again. All right.
Read your text messages real quick. I don't know if Ellie sent you something.
It's in my car,
I'll go grab it.
right on the console.
This is a This is what he says about it, and they think that their notice is by putting up the sign only, not by actually publishing it on their website, not by filing it with the city clerk. So I want you to your reaction on this of reading that.
Okay, let me get to this in a minute.
I don't know if it's older or newer or whatever.
Okay, centering you again. You ready to?
So are we going to be reading all of this?
Yeah. You can glance over what I was asking him,
Right.
but what he responds is what we need on the video for what they think it is, and then your reaction to that of what they think is required for notification as compared to what you had just read prior to that on section G. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hit that like
Read
button,
over
y'all.
it.
We're only
If
5
you know
away.
What it is before, yeah. That's why I'm letting you.
Department of Recreation is DPR, right?
Yeah. DPR is Department of Recreation, yes. Parks and Recreation, yes. Are you live?
She's live.
Oh,
This is Regan's.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought so.
I ended my life
Are they
late.
enjoying this?
So far, so good, man. I mean, 96 likes, so there you go.
Well, no, I'm talking about this little section of this interview.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Let me read some chat here. Dandy Dan says,
They can interject some questions
Right.
too.
I see your moonlighting. Yeah, moonlighting for sure, Dandy Dan. T Shell, that's a long story. No, let's see. Daylighting, actually, yep.
I can look that up for you if you want more clarification.
But their rules and regulations.
They're not the
I think
same.
we got everything so far. Sorry, guys. It's really hard to see the chat because the sun is
They're operating under
right in the
different
way
set of
here.
rules than what's in the
Yeah.
Denver Revised Municipal Code.
Yeah.
That's what I've run across before, is the fact, like when I got ticketed on the sidewalk, the only reason that they're saying that I was illegally in the park is because they had a
Temporary order.
no, definition saying that the sidewalks adjacent to the parks are part of the
Right.
park.
Right.
But under the revised municipal code, that wasn't true because the public right-of-way was in charge, or Public Works was in charge of the public right-of-way, which is where I was. So you can't have two people having control over the same spot. You follow what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're saying, no, because it's on our definition that it's part of the park, but that definition is not in the Denver Revised Municipal Code.
Well,
But
this isn't even the damn park. So.
well, I understand that, but this is what his reasoning is.
Right.
So this is coming from a park supervisor, mind you.
Joshua Glover.
Yes. So I will be contacting him for a comment on the story.
Okay.
Well, I'll be contacting DPD and Denver Parks and Recreation both for
What about
comment.
What about Department of Transportation and Infrastructure? If this process is falling under them,
It is now.
yeah.
So yes, but that's not part of the story of you saving
Gotcha.
Denver, the city of Denver, from getting multiple lawsuits from everybody that was staying out here in their vehicles
Right.
by illegally trying to enforce a law that they then charged you with. Or not charged you with that law, they charged you with interfering with them getting lawsuits and losing their qualified immunity, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what it's going to boil down to, is the fact that you saved them, and then they turned around to reward you that they are charging you with a crime that you can beat easily, so that you can sue them now personally, and everybody on the street having to sue them.
Gotcha. I don't know if I can speak really in depth about this because
Well, you don't have to read it out
Right.
specifically. You can.
But it
you
is
get the-
contradictory.
You
I
get
get that.
the gist
Yeah.
of it, that they're saying that all they have to do is put a sign out here and
Yep.
it makes it legal.
Yep.
That's what he's saying in there.
Their rules
Jima,
and
she's aware of most of it.
regulations,
She's just
the
getting
code of
some information from Ghostwriter that Ghostwriter got from the Parks
Okay,
and
I'm
Rec.
gonna forward correspondence with a supervisor in the Parks and Recreation Department by the name of Joshua Glover, yes.
Yep.
Which we'll be asking him for comment on this story. But can you tell us the gist of the?
Well, reading this communication, I can see that he is completely contradicting Denver's Code of Ordinances based on the Department of Parks and Recreation's rules and regulations. The restriction or prohibition of uses and activities 39-4 that he explains here or tries to explain is a complete contradictory to the process of what we just talked about in the Code of Ordinances.
Under Section G, yes.
Under Section G, correct.
So your opinion is does he say that they can just put up a sign and that makes it
Yeah.
law?
Absolutely. What he's telling you here is that they can use temporary directives and rules and provisions, and they can literally just put up any signs that they want in the parks without following the public process of announcing via the city code of ordinances under 39-2 adoption of rules section G. I don't really think the Department of Parks and Recs really even know their job. They're grasping at straws.
So how do you feel about the fact that they think that anything that they post makes it illegal without running it through the city attorney, without filing it with the city clerk, without publishing it?
Well, that's illegal activity. And I was here to interrupt that. And apparently now I'm being charged with interference when the truth of the matter is I helped the city and county of Denver avoid all of those potential lawsuits that night from the parks and the cops trying to enforce illegally placed signage is what it boils down to. And
Yes.
now they want to charge me. Now the city and county of Denver wants to charge me with interference for saving them from potentially, I don't know, 10, 12 lawsuits.
Now, most cities would probably give a thank you letter rather than a citation
Me?
that have to take to court.
I got a warrant.
Well,
I got a warrant instead.
I understand that. So now you have your own lawsuit for the violation of your rights while you were protecting the city of Denver and their interests,
Potentially.
as well as the interests of the people that were out here in their vehicles.
Definitely protecting the interest of the people that were out here in their vehicles. Absolutely.
So, do you think that their method of thanking you is the correct way?
No.
So, I mean, they could have just given you a check to
I think they ought to cut my
continue-
nonprofit a check
Yes.
for, let's say, how much would that lawsuit have cost? I think they ought to cut a check for $500,000. I think that sounds
To
fair.
help the homeless?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
To
Helping Hands
further-
for Dignity
to further-
Coalition,
yes.
City and County of Denver.
Can you tell me a little bit about your work with that?
So
And,
we
and the name
are-
of your company.
We are a registered 501c3 Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition. I am the executive director of my own nonprofit. I do have a group of helpers, and we do direct street outreach every single day, solving problems out here on the streets of Denver that the city of Denver refuses to solve themselves with taxpayer dollars. Then we fix those problems and the city punishes us for them. So we're running out of money. So Denver, cut us a check.
So you come up with the solutions and a lot of times put them in effect, helping the homeless out of their situations or at least to help improve their situation at the time.
Absolutely.
And at the same time preventing Denver from overstepping and overreaching with the law in their heavy-handedness of their war on the homeless.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is a war on the homeless and anyone that dare try to help them.
Yes. So, all right. We'll pause in there. So, I understand you came across some more information. When I jumped onto the stream, you were reading out stuff I didn't have.
Oh, from the arrest warrant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you went down there and they gave you the rest of it.
Oh yeah, I got all of it.
Yeah, they wouldn't give me but the first two
I
sheets
know.
of it because it was still an active warrant.
Yeah. Well, it
So-
still is, but since it was my case,
Yeah,
I showed her the ID, so I got everything.
right. That's almost like discovery.
Yeah.
So that's why I only got
Yeah,
part of it
I know.
and you got the rest of it.
I know.
It's because it's
But
your
I only
case.
went down there this time because I knew that they weren't going to arrest me.
Yes, that was a big difference there.
Yep.
So, all right, what else do we want to talk about while we're down here? Do we want to mention these new signs on this, or what do we want to mention? in
Yeah,
the
that they
story?
weren't the same signs on February 1st. It's up to you. I mean, if you think that's
Yeah, those are different.
completely different
Okay,
signs.
yeah, let's walk
Do you
up
have
here.
a picture of those old signs?
I got a video.
Right on.
I got a video. I was walking around this area and I was talking with people, and I got that and the signs
Okay.
and the fact that that property down there doesn't belong to the park.
Right.
So,
Or the city.
oh yeah.
100 likes. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. This is MLH, Mexican Longhair.
Let's see if they got any good questions.
Anybody have any
something
questions on there?
Anybody have any questions? Janet's in there. She says, "Hey, Regan."
Janet Matson?
Janet Matson's in there. ID1 Kenobi, what's up? But no questions so far. They just said they're enjoying the process of the interview. But this is, like I said, this is Mexican Longhair. I'm taking Regan's phone.
Oops, my
No.
bad. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's not broke.
Not broke, thank goodness. But yeah, we Ghost is interviewing Regan about these stupid signs here and the BS interference that she's got. It's very flimsy material.
Oh yeah.
Where do you want it? Right here or up there?
Close to the camera so that I got this top you again. Hang on a second here. Okay. What do you think of these new signs that they put up? Since they've taken down the illegal signs and replaced them with these ones.
Well, these are illegal too. That's
Well,
what I really
know,
think.
I know that because it requires public notice, public
Well,
hearing.
I think the parks went and probably partnered. I mean, this is just my opinion and based on what I know about the area and things that go on over here. I suspect they went over to Colorado Barricade, which is just down the road here. Colorado Barricade has a lot of contracts with the city and the state for road barriers, signage, and all that.
Right.
And I think they had them print these up.
Well, yeah, those are
never
not official
seen-
signs. It doesn't look like. Do you notice something peculiar about that?
Well, there's no statute on there that
Well,
they're
besides
using.
that,
Uh,
how about the hours?
yeah, 11
Is it-
p.m. to 5 a.m.
Isn't that the same hours that they go by for curfew for the park?
Yes, it is. Yes, that's a very good.
The exact
connection.
same hours, as a matter of fact, 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. You would think that they're trying to still use the park's hours to try to keep people away
To
from this area.
To enforce something on the street.
Yes.
The street is not the parks.
Yes.
Yeah, these are cheap ass. I've never seen this kind of material used.
Yeah, I've never seen a sign like this before myself.
No, super cheap.
So we'll have to inspect them a little bit more and see if they got stickers on them like the rest of the signs do for Denver. But I doubt that they do.
I do as
Right.
well.
Hang on, you can pause it so that we can look at the signs. So, oh yeah, they're flimsy as all hell.
They are flimsy.
And it's bowed.
Yeah.
It's like
So
they
you
didn't even
it
get
screwed on
the
pole.
thing
They
right.
couldn't screw it right.
We need I need to look at the other side up here that I'm doing.
Couple more super chats came in.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You guys are the greatest. Thank you so
Yeah.
very much.
Let's see. One of them came from. One of them came from Scottish Fury Freedom
Aw.
Media. So $5 there.
Thank you.
And then any more. I don't see. There was someone else that put a super chat in there. I apologize for not getting that. The glare is wicked out here, y'all. So bear with me. I mean, it's not exactly great, ideal conditions to do chats here.
They ever put stickers on their signs,
I had no
Yep.
idea
Yep.
about
making
that.
them official signs.
Yep.
I had no idea
So,
about that.
we
So
learned-
that sticker on the back of that sign
Yeah, makes it an official
Denver
city
sign.
Yep.
sign.
I
Yes.
had no
That's an
idea.
official sign. Let's check out. Oh, be careful, Ghost. You all right, man?
Tripping over tree roots. This one here has no sticker at all.
None of them do.
You're right.
Yeah.
So
None of,
they're not official signs. If
No.
you look over there across the street on
Yep.
the stop sign,
Let's go to the
it
stop
also
sign.
has a sticker.
it also has a sticker. I'll show you guys.
City signs
Have a sticker.
on them,
Yep.
the city of Denver.
And they have to inspect those. That's what those stickers are
Yes.
for, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go
So
take a look at
they
this.
come by, they know what official stickers are, official signs are because of the stickers that are on every sign.
Huh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and that's how they maintain them. You know, like if they're
Right.
getting old or
Right.
whatnot. I wonder if that old ass sign down there. What is this?
That's for the sweep that they did
Oh.
last week.
I wonder if that old like dog park thing or whatever sign has any stickers on the back of them.
It's run by the city of Denver. It would be, yeah.
It should. But it's old as hell. You can't read it.
Even these don't have
Yep.
a DRMC code for
Right.
their parking ones, but
Right.
they're on every street, which
Yeah.
is understandable that they can do that
Right.
without having a DRMC on it.
Right. They want to keep the streets clean. You know, every other
Right.
week or whatever. Every second Wednesday or
Yeah.
Thursday or
Not-
whatever.
Not all signs are required to have a DRMC. I mean,
Right.
a stop sign certainly doesn't have.
Right.
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 So,
You don't.
and it's still a legal sign.
Right.
So even these are legal signs.
That is a fabulous
But
education. You want to
the fact-
carry that for a
the
while?
fact that
If you want.
Set you free.
These signs,
Oh, I'm
It's
just
okay.
trying.
the fact
See
that
how
these
many
signs have no sticker on them means that Denver didn't print the signs.
Right.
They're not official signs.
Right.
Plus, we know for a fact that there was no public hearing on it,
Yep.
or notice, or filing. I'm sure that if I search into that for that section, it's going to be about the same as Parks and Rec for the process of making something legal, that they have to go through the same type of process for the legalities of it. It has
Right.
to be not only brought up to the public, it has to be open for public to comment on,
Yeah.
to see if that's what the people actually want.
Right.
Well, the people in this neighborhood are
Yeah.
just businesses, which they would probably want that,
Right.
unless.
But follow the damn process.
Yeah. So they might say, yes, we want this, but that still isn't following the legalities of it. Plus, you have to run it by the city attorney, who has to approve it. Then it has to be filed with the city clerk.
Yep.
Same process as the other ones that they did not follow.
This is the man right here. I told you guys earlier.
So the whole thing is, of course, illegal. All these signs are.
Yep.
If I dig into it, I know there's signs that are similar to the no parking ones that they just put up that are
Mhm.
around the corner as you're going down the street.
Okay.
Because I've been down that street recently
Okay.
and saw all the no parking signs. If I look those up, I'm going to find that there was no hearings or anything else.
Uh-huh.
So
This is good shit, Ghost.
their
You're the best.
their war on the homeless, of course,
Yep.
is going to the point where they are willing to break the law
Yep.
in order to punish
Target
the
'em.
homeless, to basically criminalize the homeless,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of these vehicles that were here, for instance, weren't running.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't get it out in time, you're therefore punished by criminal acts.
For illegal
So-
signage.
Which expounds on
Illegal
the problem
signs.
of
Yes,
homelessness
which-
in general, because
yes.
lots of these people
Yes.
can't
Yeah,
afford
there's
the
no place to
fines.
go. Go where?
Say that again. Which
They can't
which
afford the
which
fines.
expounds
Which it expounds the problems out here, because
keeps
If you're-
people in
Because
homeless.
they keep pushing them
Keeps
from
people
spot to spot.
homeless.
they're not only disrupting lives by moving people.
Yep.
You know, even if it's a block over, just imagine you live in your house
In the middle of a snowstorm.
in the middle
and you
of a
gotta
snowstorm,
move.
and you gotta move out. And not to mention that 75% or more of your stuff is destroyed.
Right.
And then the rest of it is put in a storage, which is another problem in itself that people don't understand.
Yeah.
Homeless people just don't have the transportation that normal people do. So
Yep.
to get down there with the hours that they have set to get your stuff is next near to impossible.
Yes, it is.
And so then now you got fines and fees and citations.
Ellie, I'm looking. What's the question? Isn't this park beautiful? What is the reason they said they needed to use caution with Regan Benson? Yes, we forgot to talk about that. That form under the community, well, we kind of talked about that. That form that I posted on the community section of my channel states that the Denver Police Department has put a tag on me to use caution because I am a 1A auditor. They literally put that in writing. Caution needs to be used when dealing with this subject because she's a 1A auditor. Yeah, I guarantee you I'm not the only one with that kind of form with the Denver Police Department. They target people for exercising their protected activity. They criminally prosecute you. Yeah, thank you, Ellie. That responds to the question that you were asking me. So if anybody wants to see that form, go to that community section of my channel, and in the posts, you'll see it. That is also where they used the wrong street address for an address that doesn't exist anywhere in the state of Colorado. They have a house number correct, and that's it. Nothing else. The direction, the street, the city, the zip code, nothing is correct. So in other words, Denver PD doesn't like the First Amendment. No, they don't. They hate it. And they hate anyone that exercises it. And I guarantee you, there's a long list that they have, that they keep, in gathering that information. I find it interesting, though, that they had my social security number. I'm not quite sure how they got that. Yes, I've been arrested before, booked through the jail. Yes, I've been fingerprinted. So, and since that form also says that I have an FBI file number, that's the other thing we need to talk about and figure out how to address. That form also has a number in the box that says FBI file number. Can anybody make heads or tails of that? That I have no idea about. Am I being, what, I have an FBI case? I'm on the 1A auditor list of the FBI. What is it? Yeah, that's a really interesting subject that we're going to have to explore at some point. If anybody has any insight to that, any logical insight, not just guesses, logical insight as to how that number got on that form, please let me know, because that's something new that I've never heard of before. I gotta switch my glasses. Sounds like I'm doing something right. Deuce is wild. Yeah, pretty much. Monkey, how are you? That's a thing. They have one for all of us. Cora, the First Amendment folder DPD Intel has on all of us? Seriously? Have you done this? Do you know it to be true? What do you mean on all of us? What's your definition of all of us? Wow, this super chat is incredible, you guys. Thank you very, very much. Amendtard? That's what it's called? The Denver Police Department is holding a file titled Amendtard? Wow, this is good. This is an interesting subject. Christy Hayes, an individual's FBI number is a unique identification number assigned to each individual who has a record in the FBI's integrated automated fingerprint identification system, IAFIS, a nationwide. So if you've been arrested in a city, that's how they got that? Christy, that sounds legit, but I just would like to understand more. I don't know. Integrated automated fingerprint identification system. That's the fusion center people always talking about? Yeah, I get NCIC, but what is that? Why do you get an FBI number? It's a database of fingerprint and criminal history records of individuals who have been arrested. For anything? For anything, huh, Christy? Huh, okay. FBI keeps all fingerprints. Really? Well, I just learned something. Yes, I've been arrested on 2 bullshit warrants. Actually, is it 2? Yeah. So my fingerprints were processed in Morgan County after Dick Face threw me through the door and then tried to charge me. And then I was processed in the Denver jail twice now. So that's where that's coming from, huh? Wow. Yeah, I figured that they were going to be trying to collect my DNA, which they likely already have. Yeah, this is so invasive. Even though none of those charges stuck, even those that were those bogus arrests, all that shit was dismissed. Wow. We are so screwed. Thank you, Christy. That was very informative. Yes, anything a person gets arrested for, whether they're guilty or not. The FBI maintains the fingerprints. Okay, so now I get it. So that's the NCIC system to clear a background check that Denver uses and they play games with. So the Denver police get to process all of that for the jail, and then they fuck with people and not release that. Yep. Oh, your trial is Wednesday, huh? Monkey? Interesting. Yeah, I remember that arrest. That's been 3 years, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, that's why they don't care if you beat the charges. They're just giving you the ride. Yeah, I get it. Well, you look suspicious, Monkey. Anybody can report suspicious activity. That's all suspicious activity that the FBI has to be aware of. Based all on what the Denver police have generated. Literally. What a trip. I don't know. This Just Us system has really defined itself well. It is crazy what they consider a threat to them. All right, y'all. Well, we've been doing this stream for about 2.5 hours. I think we covered a lot of stuff, probably stuff that nobody's gonna sit through and watch all of. However, I love to do these because documentation is key and it helps us keep track. And yes, I don't know what's gonna happen with this order to get served, a summons and citation. I don't know how stupid Denver's gonna continue to get with it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I called District 4. They don't fucking answer their phones now. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see what tomorrow brings, if and when I have time. So, knowledge is their biggest threat. Yeah, it is. Knowledgeable people are a threat. People that really exercise the First Amendment, I guess, we're just all a big ass threat. So, the more people that know and understand their games, then they don't have the power anymore. Yeah, and it's taken those of us that have been through this process of being targeted and by the police. Are the ones that have gained the most knowledge, and there's many of us. It's becoming more and more and more and more, and people are fed up. And this is the government we created, and we're either going to take it back or we're not. So I'm not asking anybody to come out here and start World War III, okay? Because this is not that war. I've said that before. People that show up here and start wanting to threaten the cops and all that kind of shit over things that go on. I understand why you feel the way you do. I do. Because when I hear of a story that a cop has got ambushed or that something horrible has happened with a cop, I'm sorry. It's just a natural reaction to go, was somebody trying to defend themselves? That's where we are in the state of this country and the state of law enforcement. Don't talk to me about there being, a majority of great cops, because it's an orchard. And I asked somebody today, how do you pick out the few good apples out of the spoiled orchard? Because that's what we're dealing with. And when I expect the cops to do their job and they don't even do that, like the arrest of this person that literally beat the shit out of me, okay? This person still has a warrant out here. I went through all of the processes to get a permanent restraining order with no stipulations. That person cannot be anywhere that I am because of my work. And this fucking police department has repeatedly ignored me on this issue. They continue to ignore me on this issue. It was on camera that they ignored me on that issue. Because they want me in jail? No, you fuckers are not going to get away with this. We're watching. Everybody knows, okay? Yes, there's a lot of philosophical debate about when and how to involve the police, but when it comes to violent crime, we're not in a state of affairs where we can apply vigilante justice. So let's just be real about what the options are at this present day and time. That's me. So this will not become the channel of all cops are bastards and they all need to die. It just won't, okay? So please don't do it. It is very maddening. It is very frustrating. It is very costly and interferes with my life. But
How did the vehicles actually get removed from here?
So the vehicles ended up moving on their own because one of the cops with a brain came out here and ultimately gave them a new notice, which superseded the notice that the SET team came out here and gave them. So then they willingly moved on their own at that point. It's a 72-hour notice for abandoned vehicle. I know where some of them went.
So were any of them cited for anything?
Yes. So Parks had come back.
Well, I know that they cited the one guy and you intervened on the second guy, but I don't know if
They had already cited 5 people.
They had already cited 5?
Yep. for that bogus, and I sent you a copy of that actual
Yes.
one.
And
All
I sent that to Milo,
yeah.
and maybe
Sorry.
if we keep in touch with these people, then we
Yes.
might be able to get a lawsuit on the city of Denver over this.
I am in contact with one of them via text when her phone is charged. She's probably the most important one, so I'll stay on that. Yeah, definitely. We're just talking about how. No, I'm still streaming. I'm just talking to people.
Well, they didn't come up with any more questions?
Did anybody have any more questions about Ghost, what he's done, and
Not that.
or any questions out here at all? Well, you've done a lot of research, and it's incredibly important. We've been kind of working on this together, and I love it. But the bulk of the work comes from behind the scenes when you're gathering that much information, and it's fucking time consuming.
It is.
It's very time consuming. I know. And hats off to him for doing this.
That's part of the email where I first requested FOIA with the park ranger, and he at first directed me to their website to go through it. And
To
instead
go
of him-
through their website instead of answering the information
Yeah.
request.
Yeah. So
Wow.
he didn't want to take a FOIA request or a FOIA request. He's like, you can go here for this. I hope this helps. But then he turned around and said something to me, and I forgot what it was. It's in the
Denny. Yeah, bottom line, stop hurting the cops' feelings and their manhood. They have no manhood.
Let's see here. Oh, I had answered him, is what I said. I said, okay, gotcha, when he said that I should do a request with the Open Records website, basically, from them. And I looked that up and I saw who it was that the records go through.
Did you have to pay?
Not yet, no. Because
Good.
they haven't given me any information because there is none.
Right.
The thing is I looked it up and it was author, what's his name, Wixon or something like that, Wickerson. The guy that runs the process, if you're going to battle against any of these park and rec tickets,
Right.
if you want a hearing,
Okay.
he's the man that you have to go see to set that up for a hearing,
Okay.
which is what we're going to have to do for anybody that's got a ticket.
You know what, Ghost? We don't necessarily need, I mean, if an attorney isn't going to respond right away, we can get the process started. I mean, these
we need
people.
to set it up for hearings for these people
Right.
to stand up against them. Because
Right.
You don't get another.
But it's hard.
for-
You got to remember the bulk of
I
these
understand
people.
It's hard, but the point being is the guy that runs the department
You're gonna have to
that
talk to him.
handles that is the same man that is going to write if you're guilty or not. Because if you watch the hearing on mine, when I was in there in the hearing, and this judge, this ex-judge,
But just getting them there. A lot of these people have bogus bullshit warrants for other shit. You are never going to get them.
yeah.
You got to talk to them really one-on-one basis to see how you can do it. It's a very time-consuming endeavor, and to get them there and
Well, you need to find out if any of them are willing to fight it.
on the surface, I could name one.
Fight it. And we might even get lawyered in on it.
If we could get some attorney help, that would be awesome. But I'm not an attorney, but I would recommend to people that got one of those tickets. If it were me, I'd throw it in the trash. So, I mean, I don't know. There are a few of them that I can talk to. One in particular, I think, stands out that would follow through. The bulk of them, they're going to throw them in the trash. They get fucked with so much. It's hard to get them on.
That's how they use that to force them to
Yeah,
comply with them.
exactly.
Because if you're not going to leave here, we're going to take
Yep.
you in on that.
We're going to take you to jail.
So they're basically
Yep.
intimidating them.
They'll tell them they'll take them to jail for that.
Even though the actions of the officer is illegal
Yep.
to begin with, they're still using it to intimidate.
That's why I have to file
Do what they
fucking
want.
complaint after complaint about them not activating their body cams.
Well, yeah.
I have to go down that rabbit hole just to get the shit on camera that they're doing,
Yeah.
that I can't
That's
catch
why
all the
we
time.
send the guys out here to record. But
Yeah.
obviously that,
It's
they
so
feel
hard.
intimidated enough that they're going to go to jail
Russ, thank you.
Something that the police don't like.
Russ, very nice to see you. Are we going to see you? Russ, put $10 in. Vets with rights, or what do you call it, Russ?
They pay
I'm sorry.
harassment charges and, grievances, but they're stupid enough where they can't win. Right. I mean,
Rebecca, I wanted to reach through the laptop and slap the cop upside their head. Well, I'll let that a little amount of violence go. Because they needed a mother out here. And that's pretty much what they got from me. They got the mother mouth.
They finally just upped the charges enough where.
Hey, Monkey wants me to ask you about the first amendtard file that the Denver Police Department maintains. He said they're actually calling it an amendtard file that has us all in it.
Yeah, but that was witnessed by Defend.
Defend?
He saw this file. I didn't see it. So.
Has anybody ever gotten a hold of this to prove
No,
that this
they
exists?
They don't acknowledge that it exists.
Has anybody asked them formally?
I believe so. I believe that it has been asked for and denied. Because
Asked for and denied?
It exists.
Because they said it doesn't exist? Yeah, that's the Denver Police Department.
The normal. That's like
The normal
video
bullshit.
when, the judge grabbed his balls and that video disappeared because it was under investigation, and once it was no longer under investigation, it was disappeared. So even though that it was requested,
Talking about destroying
requested that it
evidence.
held in evidence, it was
Yep.
destroyed because it was
Vets have rights too. Thanks, Russ.
They do shit. It doesn't surprise me though. It's like
the way you laughed at me.
Dino, cops can't go after criminals. Are you crazy? Criminals are dangerous. It's all about officer safety. Amen. That's the truth right there. That's the truth right there. Russ, you got your channel going up on YouTube yet? Vets have rights too, or are you still just kind of over there on Facebook? Really was
There is some courts.
nice of you to come out. We really appreciate it, Russ. All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm going to end this stream. Ellie, are we, I think we're good. So, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you to everyone. Wow, $225 in super chats. Goes directly to the nonprofit, you guys. I can't thank you enough for that. It's very much appreciated. And whoever sent $200 cash in the mail in a special little envelope that's made for cash in the mail, you knew what you were doing. That was a very pointed effort, and I thank you tremendously. Anonymous donor of $200 cash that was postmarked in Denver. Very much appreciate that. We'll continue to work through things that come up. I have a busy week. We'll see what happens. So, you guys, thank you very much. Oh, Russ, awesome. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Sounds fantastic. All right, everybody. Got to get my nails done, too. Take care. It was good to see all of you.